Greetings, friends. It's lovely to see you again. My name is Alan, the host of this channel and the host of this DID system. Last time you met me and 4 others in our original Meet the Alters video. Today, I'd love to introduce you to 4 more amazing folks who'd love to meet you all. Let's dive in with our first buddy, Sol. Hey, my name is Solaris, but you can call me whatever the hell you want. My pronouns are he, they, and I am agender. I'm the past host of 2 years, and when I tell you it's ridiculous to be replaced by a British man, I mean it. When I was first host, I was around almost 95% of the time because I was something called front stuck, where you're like stuck in the front and you can't switch out with other alters. I was like that because I was just too afraid to let others front. Like, what if they mess up? Or what if they make a big accident and I have to take responsibility for it? No thanks. Alan doesn't have to deal with that though, because he's not scared of letting others front. So now I just exist in the void unless somebody says my name and then I'm pulled to the front. I'm like the nosiest alter, deadass. When I first became host, I was obsessed with van life, so I bought us a whole ass van and we lived in it. Sounds cool, right? Dead wrong. Debatably traumatizing. Let me explain. We lost our housing in 2023 out of literally nowhere and thought, instead of getting another apartment, I guess we'll move into the sketchy van because it'd be impossible to move into an apartment quick enough. The landlord gave us like literally 4 days to move out. So we got rid of everything we owned and converted a van in 4 days. Let me remind you, we have a cat. So we had to account for everything we would need and everything the cat would need. Imagine being stuck in a metal box 5 feet from a litter box at all times. Even worse, we bought this fish cutting and cleaning table with a small sink in it and put it in the van because we're like, we need a kitchen. And when we were really depressed, which was like 95% of the time, we'd leave the dishes in the sink. And where did the dishes end up when we had to take a sharp turn? The litter box. All that being said, I became and still partially am the distraction alter. I'd take us cool places and I'd do like anything to fight off the massive amount of unmedicated depression and anxiety we had while living in the world's shittiest 2001 Astro van. I remember we had a mechanic tell us they were shocked the van made it into their shop without falling apart. Unfortunately, trying to distract yourself like 24/7 is actually really dysfunctional. Like we got nothing done because our 2 options were doom and gloom or, ooh, let's go look at a cool river. Eventually our van broke down in Vegas as we were on our way to like our hometown and we couldn't get it fixed. It was at the end of its ever-loving life. So we sold it for a sad $1,000 and moved into a friend's living room for 4 months. Being the distractor I was constantly trying to befriend people, go on adventures, and do like anything but face my actual problems. This is probably why I'm no longer host, and honestly, it's for the best. Despite how badly I miss it, things have been so much more productive and healthy with Alan taking over, and I still get my time to have fun occasionally with friends. Hi, my name is Clara. I'm a more recently discovered alter, but I've been around for a long time. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm actually 15, which makes me a middle. I'm not allowed on the Discord server for my safety, but I am allowed to make videos like I used to. Before we knew your system, I used to make tutorial videos and so much content for this channel back when we were like 14 to 15. I never aged with the body, which is why I'm still so young. Back then, we were obsessed with wolf and fox girls, and that's why I'm a fox girl. Our brain just translated everything going on in our current life into making me. I'm also an ANP, which stands for apparently normal part, meaning the parts of a person that can handle everyday life like school, work, chores, social interactions. ANPs are focused on functioning and often avoid traumatic memories or emotions. I don't hold any trauma or bad memories, just fun and love for making videos. We used to make videos as a coping mechanism when we were younger. It sounds so weird saying when we were younger because I still am that exact age mentally. But anyways, I was brought out a lot to distract us with productivity. We became relatively obsessed with posting videos for you guys back then. Also, did you know our channel just turned 6 years old? I find that so cool. My favorite thing to do is plan out and schedule a month's worth of content. I like knowing exactly which days I'll record on, which days I'll edit, and which days I'll release videos on. Despite being a middle, I help Alan a lot with content, and my job is really important because nobody else is really good at coming up with video ideas. I also really love content that's for a good cause, like those fundraiser streams or videos that are connected to donations for helping others. Those are really important to me because caring for people is how the world goes around. We've been down on our luck before, and places like food pantries or free communities with great resources have been really crucial for our safety and health. When the system wants me to come out, they play this playlist on Spotify full of music I used to love, and I just love listening to it. It's the best. I also like pastels, bunnies, foxes, cats, and flowers. I'm even making friends with a middle from our partner system. The system is very protective of me and the other middles, especially online. Like, they're like an overbearing parent almost. Like I said, they don't even let me talk in our own Discord server because they don't want to expose me to cursing. I'm not allowed to curse either. Anyways, thanks for getting to know me. Bye bye. Hey, my name is Cody. He, him. I'm one of the anger holders in the system, which means I carry a lot of the anger we couldn't express during traumatic events. This doesn't mean I'm angry 24/7. I'm a pretty calm guy unless triggered. I'm also Alan's gatekeeper, which means I can lock him away from the front if he does something unsafe for the system. It's only happened once, and I became host for a week while he was in timeout. When I front, I change into my own clothing: black shirts, a red spiked choker, a ton of chain necklaces, and whatever pants are comfy. I'm a big fan of black eyeshadow and liner as well. I want to grow out my hair into a mullet. Will that happen? Probably not, but a man can dream. If it were up to me, we'd also have a ton of piercings on our face. Being an anger holder is weird because you're in this constant state of being surrounded by people and you're carefully trying not to get upset because you know your reactions are extreme, but stopping them is difficult. For me personally, I'm really sensitive to overstimulation. Like if I'm at the mall and people are loud, my first response is to get angry. It's not something I want or ask for. It's more of like an instantaneous reaction, like cause and effect. Because the reality is, I have so much anger built up from horrific injustices that it's impossible to not feel it. Just like any other alter that's a holder, like symptom holders, anxiety holders, etc., we're not bad people, but system accountability is important. I never have, but if I were to yell at someone, that's not only my responsibility, that's the whole system's responsibility. I specifically got a therapist for this, and I asked her in our session to help me with my anger. I specifically said this was a very important thing, and she started off by asking me questions to better understand the situation. She then derailed the entire session to something completely different and never helped me, which, big shocker, made me pretty angry post session. So I went to the website I found her on and I emailed other therapists because I wanted somebody new. In that email, I detailed how much I disliked my current therapist, and I was a bit harsh, especially because I sent those emails like an hour after the session. Turns out I accidentally sent her the email too, and we ended our sessions with her that day. I do feel bad, but in the moment, I was very much like, well, that's karma for being a terrible therapist, which she was, but still, things could have played out better. Thankfully, that email was just an accident, and I didn't go off the rails actually sending cruel things to her or anything. When I was host for a week during Alan's break, it was terribly hard not to get upset at people because I couldn't just retreat. I was the host. I had to front for almost all the social interactions. One thing I find that helps is accountability from friends. Like, how can you mess up as easily when you know your loved ones will be deeply disappointed in you? That and music. I have a rage mix I listen to when I'm overstimulated. Something about this playlist is so loud and overstimulating that my brain just stops processing it, like at all. It's just silence in my brain while I listen to some of the worst music God's ever seen produced on his planet. Like a lot of anger holders, I also communicate in a very blunt style. I say what I mean, I don't like beating around the bush, and I don't like people who do. Say what you mean or say nothing. Even though I'm Alan's gatekeeper, I actually have a gatekeeper too. His name is Daniel. He's the guy you'll meet next. Greetings, my name is Daniel, but you can just call me Jen. I'm the head protector as far as we know in the system. Kids asked me to do this interview and to talk to you all, and I couldn't say no. Here's a bit about me. I'm 48 and queer platonic partners with Mary, our system's secondary caretaker. She's a sweet woman, and we both adopted Alan, who feels no connection to the body's parents. You may be wondering how we adopted another alter. None of your beeswax. Just kidding. When Alan came to the realization that he was disconnected from his own birth parents, similar to how a fictive can become disconnected to their source, Mary and I both felt bad for him and offered to be his parents as best we could within the constraints of sharing a body. One of the littles also sees Alan as a pillar of safety, probably because he's done so well as host, and calls Alan dad, so he adopted her, and I gained a grandchild in headspace. That's one of the more beautiful parts of being a polyfragmented. The roles and relationships we form are deeply meaningful, complex, and full of love. As Cody's gatekeeper, sometimes I like to mess with him a little and lock him in the broom closet in the front room. The front room is this imaginary room we have in our head, and when someone comes to the front, they're in that front room. I'll throw him in there and lean on the door so he can't get out, but he can still hear what's going on. I do love the kid, but I love messing with him just as much. I typically come out in moments of crisis or emotional escalation when things aren't safe for the kids and they need to retreat from the front. The last major time I came out was when a partner's souls revealed they had cheated on their past lovers. It took Soul by so much surprise and horror that he left front, so I walked up and took over and talked with Soul's then partner about our thoughts on the matter. The job is tiring, and sometimes I feel like I'm a little too old for this, but here I am. Hope you enjoyed meeting everybody. We're pretty active in our Discord if you'd like to get to know us better. The link is below. Goodbye, my friends.